against, but ain't nobody stopping me. That's how I go.
All right. What's going on, everybody? Okay, it is Monday, April 22nd, 2019, and it's Game of Thrones season. Winter has come, and quite frankly, so far, coming all over our face, neck, and chest. We've had two, I would say, controversial, only in that, I would call them controversial episodes, only in that a lot of people seem to not be loving them, like really getting on them, you know, like embracing them kind of the way I thought they might be, to be completely honest. Some people calling them slow-paced and boring and all this, and I don't see it. I've been trying to get there. I'm just going to go ahead and bury the lead right here. Not bury the lead. Put the lead right up in the front. I love the first two episodes. See, I've gone into this season not thinking about it in individualistic episodes. Like, I'm not going to be looking at each episode and going, is this episode good on its own? If it makes sense to me in the context of an entire story, of like an entire movie, I think it makes it a lot easier to look at. Because this is the final 6 episodes of Game of Thrones forever. This is it, right? And what they're trying to do is take all the episodes and turn them into one flowing send-off. They're supposed to really flow into each other. We've noticed that the first couple of episodes, and considering the third episode is going to be an entire episode of carnage, mayhem, and battle, it makes a lot of sense that they are filming this and thus writing it as it's like a free-flowing movie. And that's the way I'm kind of looking at it. And it's making it really enjoyable because the way we're seeing it, the way that things are happening, it's making a lot of sense. You know, some people are like, we need the carnage now. Why have nothing happened? This hasn't happened. But this is classic Game of Thrones. Not only Game of Thrones writing, but Game of Thrones fans. I mean, Jesus Christ, remember people going crazy over the dragons? The fervor was so real and so insane that even South Park made a whole thing about it on a whole series. The entire Game of Thrones tribute little mini series with the Thanksgiving, Black Friday. Amazing. Was some of the best episodes ever of South Park, in my opinion. I love that whole series. It's fantastic. And it was such a real thing. So it's just interesting to see how they're going with it from this stage forward, because you're always getting left to be waiting with Game of Thrones. They're always making you wait, and then they're pulling you back in and seeing what they can get from you. That's what they do. It's how they write. It's how they bring things out. They make you wait for the really, really good shit. But with this season, I think this is where the confusion came in. Nobody was expecting that. People wanted it to be breakneck speed. But the reality is some things still needed to be explained. Some things still needed to be resolved. I think it was important because of Game of Thrones being the show that it is, heavy political, very much conversationally, and then your moments of blood, guts, gore, tits, dicks, floppy wieners, of course, and all that. But it is the conversations and the manipulations between all the houses and those relationships there within that have made Game of Thrones so compelling. So for me, seeing resolutions, seeing reunions, seeing little trivial things like Jon Snow's first dragon ride, which in episode 1, some people were like, this makes no sense, but you got to learn how to ride the fucking dragon in the first place. And if you're going to learn how to ride a fucking dragon, why wouldn't we see that moment, you know? So, while some of the political maneuvering that we've always had in Game of Thrones is gone, and I know my good buddy Lord Vega has had that complaint throughout the first 2 episodes, that we've lost some of that, some of the compelling things about Game of Thrones. Big thing being that entire plotting and sneaking around and that political scheming and maneuvering. We don't have that right now because there's no political scheming aside from Cersei, who's trying to consolidate her power. But Game of Thrones is a show of lessons. They're also a show of twists. They like to go hard lefts and hard rights at moments when you're not expecting them. And they like to punish characters for continued behavior of certain patterns. So I think they're setting us up for a little bit of an okey doke, but a pivotal and entire season altering direction next week. It's all there. The writing is there. The one person who has not changed one iota throughout the entire series really is Cersei. She's only gotten more vicious. It's the only thing that's changed about her. Is she's gotten more vile, more devious, more untrusting of those around her, more hungry and greedy for power as she has lost those that she has loved around her. That's the only thing that's changed about her. It's not really much of a change. She's only learned how to become more devious. Other characters have had growths and arcs and all these different things that have happened. That happens through life for everybody. We've seen that throughout. Hey, New Age Cuck with $5. I called Arya and that one bastard back in season 2. You did indeed. Thank you so much. Let's go ahead and do a hat change for that. It's a good way to start. Thank you so much for the $5 on Super Chat. You're a goddamn doll. You're a doll. You're a doll. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know. Oh, there it is. I was like, why didn't it show up? God damn it, New Age Cuck. Thank you so much. Good stuff. Let's get some love in the chat for that. Thank you for being here, everybody. I appreciate Carl G, Dan, you guys coming in. Go ahead and tweet out the stream. Let everybody know because it's a little slow going at the beginning here. And I've gone ahead and I've spewed a whole bunch of stuff out there. Like I said on Twitter, if you guys are not aware, this is your show. It's a fan chat. This is about you guys want to talk about Game of Thrones in any way you see fit. We have Discord open. We'll take some calls, questions, comments, concerns, hopes, streams, quips, quotes, likes, loves, and so much more. There's a lot to talk about, and I got a lot to talk about in this Game of Thrones because we're going through the first 2 episodes, essentially. Nice one, New Age Cuck, isn't it? It's very nice. Thank you, Carl. Yeah, so there's a lot in these first 2 episodes to get into and dissect what's really happening. But the thing for me is, like I said, with the episode last night, I think they're setting us up to go a completely different direction. And the last 4 episodes, which are all well over an hour long, by the way, this next episode, the last 4 episodes are all over an hour, and almost all of them, I think all of them are over an hour and 15 minutes, and all but one, I think, are over an hour and 20. So we have a lot of Game of Thrones coming in the next 4 weeks. Lots of Game of Thrones. And I'm talking coming. We will be coming. Copious of fucking amounts. And it's going to be incredible. I'm very excited about the entire thing because I know what we're going to see over the next, 4 weeks. I know how much has to be resolved. And I know that fast-paced action that everybody's been kind of complaining about throughout these first 2 episodes. We're going to get that. But let's talk about what we have gotten because holy shit, we've gotten quite a bit. We've gotten a lot of really good moments. We've got endless memes and GIFs from the first 2 episodes. We got Sloth Bran staring down anybody who comes in his fucking path. Bran is like the black cat of the neighborhood. Nobody wants to even be anywhere near this motherfucker because the looks that he gives you. Everybody has wronged Bran. Everybody has fucked Bran over. Everybody hates Bran. And you know what? I don't fucking blame him. I hate Bran too. He's annoying and he probably smells like old soup. Can't stand fucking Bran. He drives me crazy. And I also don't trust him. I'm sorry. I don't care what anybody says. Until I see the fucking credits roll and the show is over, I still think that there's a chance that Bran is going to be revealed as the Night King. I think so. I think it's going to be revealed that he, the 3-eyed raven that was before the old man, and the Night King are all the same guy. I think they're all the same guy, and we're going to get into some real loopy, weird thing. Now, the only reason why I'm going to back off of it is because through the 2 first episodes of the season, we've got no tomfuckery, or should I call it Bran fuckery, and going back in time and trying to mess with stuff, which I thought was going to be a heavy thing in this season. I thought Bran was going to spend more time trying to traverse the olden times, and I thought that we would certainly get some more interactions with the Mad King, and maybe even going as far as showing Bran being the voices that the Mad King was talking to when he was trying to burn everything. I thought they were going that route. They certainly did some foreshadowing with the Hodor thing, hold the door and all of that. But I think that's kind of one of the elegances and beauty of Game of Thrones, and it goes into the things that we were talking about earlier. They like to punish you when you get into the patterns. So just because they set up a premise that can easily be foreshadowing, they're going to punish you for thinking that that's the route they're going to go because that's simply too easy. So maybe we're not going to get that route. Maybe that's not what we're going to see. And so far, that's been the case. And if that is the case, then it kind of throws a whole wrench into my plan of them being able to show through all of that craziness of how Bran actually is the Night King and how it's like a cyclical thing. So I'm thinking that's probably not going to happen. I'm less confident in that than I once was. But even without it, there's so much that's happening within the realm of Game of Thrones at the moment. There's so many things that they can do and go with. So let's get into what actually happened in this episode, because this was the one that after last week, with everything that happened, and I thought last week's episode was good. I thought it was a very good premiere. Maybe there wasn't a lot of battling, but we did get some interesting things. I think a big one like, I don't know, the burning sigil, which, by the way, I've seen some theory videos on this, and I'm starting to think that there is some possibility to it. That burning symbol, now I never really noticed it before how much it looked like it, but on fire, burning, God, it looks like a little bit like the Targaryen symbol, does it not? It looks a little bit like the Targaryen house sigil, so I'm wondering if that's going to play into it. I mean, why have that fucking symbol now? I didn't know. But after all of that, the big reveal from last week, the big reunion from last week, and arguably the biggest reunion so far has been the thing that started everything. We got Jaime and Bran reuniting at the end of the episode, and the memes did go crazy. The memes went absolutely fucking nutso, and it was wonderful. It really was. So that was going to be the big story going into this week, and certainly it was. The Game Overture says, legit didn't expect the first S8 casualty to be Arya's virginity. Yes, I don't think anybody expected that. That's a big casualty. By the way, nobody's died yet, so we didn't have Lord Umber on the poll, so we're okay there. But next week, keep an eye on your game sheets, guys. Next week, keep an eye on your fucking game sheets, because next week is when the deaths are going to start happening. We're all pretty sure of that, right? So keep an eye on your game sheets if you played the game. All right. So, starting off with this week, they didn't really fuck around. They went right to what we were all wondering. They went right to what we wanted to see, and that is essentially the trial of Jaime Lannister. We got to see a lot of cool things and moments out of, our dear Dany, Miss Targaryen, Queen of Dragons herself, and all of that. But not only with her, we got to see some good moments out of Sansa, who, had her entire view swayed. We got some good moments. We got some great moments out of Brienne. Brienne coming to the rescue of Jaime, and really, in essence, and Tyrion in a way as well. Obviously, Dany, Khaleesi, my love, my dear goddamn sexy dragon queen, the silver-haired goddess herself. She is not happy with Tyrion, and you can tell that. It's made very, very apparent early on in this episode that there's a lot of strife happening. So there are still some political things happening, but only as product of the situation that's going on. And while there is some planning for the future, the one overarching story for this episode was impending death. Almost every character at one point or another said, this is not how I want to spend my last hours on this earth. Who'd have thought we'd be dying defending Winterfell? All these things, everything was about death. They're all convinced they're about to fucking die. They're about to be overrun, because they know that not only do they have an army of the dead, but they have that ice dragon. And the Night King's already shown an ability to be able to kill dragons when he wishes to, essentially. Killed one easily, killed a second, almost damn killed a second that fucking quick. So it makes the whole damn process and everything that goes with it a hell of a lot easier to plan and plot for, or even think that you're going to survive. You got a very small area, and a lot of these White Walkers that don't have the same restrictions as humans do, they're going to get in where they want. They're going to go crazy at any time they like. They're going to fuck with whatever structure, person, outline, whatever. They're going to mess with everything. You're going to have to defend it all. At the same time, it's too much chaos, and eventually Winterfell has to fall. That's what, at least how it's being set up as. And that's what this episode really did. After we got past everything with Jaime, and we got past all of those type of little crazinesses, the episode kind of progressed the way that you would see, the way that you would think. Everybody preparing for this final push. We did get a cool moment as well out of Jaime and Bran. After Jaime spent the entire trial kind of doubling down in a way on his actions, like, we were at war, this is what you do, I fight for family, I fight for honor, blah, 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 and then it was the reasons why he's now fighting for the living, and blah, 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 instead of continuing this whole thing with Cersei. He almost completely contradicts himself, because he said he wasn't sorry for anything that he did, and he would continue to do the exact same things. And then, of course, having that mic drop by Bran, the things that we do for love, saying during the little trial there, had to have been a little bit extra gut-wrenching for Jaime. And so whether he was still putting on a Lannister show in the trial or that he was actually sincere in what he said but still has a reservation about Bran, we did get a cool moment where he apologizes to Bran, and Bran kind of for the most part, I mean, for as much as what Bran can express, he seemed to forgive him. He's not like anything at him, and that's the important thing. I also found it interesting that every time that Bran has been asked what he is, he always says Three-Eyed Raven. He always says, I'm the Three-Eyed Raven. I'm the Three-Eyed Raven. Like, I'm the fifth beetle. I'm the fifth beetle. I'm the Three-Eyed Raven. He didn't say that. He said, I'm something else. And again, I don't know if this is them fucking with us with the possibility of Bran actually being the Night King. I do not know. But they did talk about things with the Night King touching him and stuff that they have not done up to this point yet. They used him as part of the planning. We'll get into that as well. So a lot of it going down. We had a lot of really cool moments. We had everything that happened with Dany and Jorah and Tyrion and all of these guys. Like we were talking about how they were still doing a little bit of political maneuvering because Tyrion was looks to be falling out of favor with Dany, which is an interesting plot line and one that they've been kind of going along for a while. Dany has not had full faith in Tyrion for a long time, and Tyrion's made a lot of mistakes. Now, granted, in the situations that he has been in, they're impossible decisions, and he has been right at times as well. So it's difficult. It's hard. Tyrion has done the best job, I think, considering everything that he's been having to deal with. He's done the best job that you could possibly imagine he could have been doing. And we've had this really cool thing that is just gone back and forth with all these characters. And to have Jorah, of all people, stand up for Tyrion was a cool little touch, too. And kind of showing how everybody has moved and progressed and getting over their own egos and getting over themselves. And really, there's only one character so far, besides Cersei, of course, that has yet to do it. Literally, well, maybe two. Everybody has been humbled except for two people. One, a guy who was already humble, and he's just a merc that everybody loves to hire, and that's Bronn. Bronn never will apologize for anything because it's just who he is. I don't think he's going to kill either Jaime or Tyrion, but we'll see. But the other person is Dany. Dany hasn't changed much. Dany's very headstrong. Daenerys is very headstrong. She thinks she's right almost to a fucking fault. It's very interesting to see what the continued progression with that. How everybody else is, even Jon with his stubbornness, he broke an oath in ways, bending the knee to a foreign queen. Everybody has taken steps, and Dany has too, except for understanding that it's really not all about her and her one driven goal, and that's to sit on the Iron Throne. I don't know. It's crazy. The game overture. Grey Worm and Jorah are dead men. I think you might be right. Too much resolution stuff in the first two episodes. I don't agree. I don't mind it. I like it. Dumbass Grey Worm making plans for the future. Oh yeah, he's done. Got to be smart, like my boy Tarly reminiscing about the past instead. Always a smart way to go, because nothing bad ever happens to a Tarly. Oh wait. Okay. So after all that, we got a really cool moment and one of my favorite interactions in the entire season so far in both episodes, and that is the little sit-down between Dany and Sansa. First off, I'm glad Tobes is in here because I don't want him to know how much I care about the fashion part, but oh my fucking God, were Daenerys and Sansa going hard on the costumes. You thought they were trying to kill each other in a fashion show. That's what you would have figured considering how hard they went on their fashion. Both women looked amazing. Both went fierce, and contrasting colors on top of that. Cool scene. It looked like they were coming together. It seemed like they were not only becoming friends, they found the common ground. All of these good things were happening, and then we saw the same headstrong thing. And Sansa has the same problems, but you understand where Sansa's coming from within reason when she becomes a little bit stubborn, and she does piss off Dany by asking a very simple question. What about the North? What about the North? What about the North? Ah, fuck. Tobes is here. Yeah, I like the fashion, man. I like the fashion this week. It was fierce. But I love the whole interaction. But I found it interesting. Once again, you can blame Sansa for being headstrong if you want, but this really does come to it that these old thoughts, these old premises of the past kind of have to go away. They cannot continue to be in this world. And I think Danny's going to come to that realization. I think Danny's going to come to the realization based off what's going to happen next week. I think because next week's not going to go the way that we all think it's going to go. We think we're going to get a battle and we're going to get a clear victory. I don't think we are. I think there's something else happening here. The fact that, and I want to talk about this at the end of the when I get towards close to the end, because it's not always about what you see and hear. It's about what you don't see and hear, and I think that was one of the biggest tells of the entire episode. So we got that really cool scene between Sansa and Danny. I really enjoyed that. Thought that was very well done. And then it was just a series of arrivals and greetings and really cool moments. You know, Tormund and Beric all arriving. So we got another, smattering of hi, how you doing, and cool little interactions from people that we weren't expecting to have from. So that was very cool. We got the whole battle plan where which is one of my favorite scenes, by the way, because we got a lot of cool stuff with Theon coming into the fold and deciding to fight and bringing the Ironborn and all that. I thought that was very cool. I thought it was a cool moment with Danny. All that was just very awesome. I think that we've seen so many cool things, and to have all these leaders in the room together and then planning it out. And then Bran's like, you know what? I'll just be bait. I'll just be bait. He wants me. He wants to touch me. I got his mark. I'll just be bait. They'll never expect that. He'll never expect that. Why would he expect that? It's only the easiest fucking plan in the history of the world. It's only the most fucking brain dead thing that anybody can fucking think of. It's only the most simplistic fucking plan that anyone with half a brain, let alone a fucking very, very smart Night King that has played everybody harder than Cersei's played people, played each and every single person that he can possibly play, and he's done it without even seeing people. He's anticipated the few interactions that he's had to have with the outside world. Every time he knew how to get everybody into position to get the things that he needed at the times that he needed them, which, again, reinforces my thought that he is living this over again. He knows too much. He's seen too much. There's something going on to where he is able to just know the exact. He knows what they're going to be coming for. He seems to constantly be in the right spot and always a step fucking ahead. And it's nothing. It can't all just be, oh, look at this. Oh, look at this. Look at my fortune. I don't think so. I don't see that happening. I don't see that being the case. But I guess we're going to find out next week. I guess that's what we're going to find out. Old School Man, I'm not a huge fan, and I'd fuck Sansa. I think everybody would fuck Sansa if given the chance. Let's just be honest here. All right, so we got some cool little moments. Once again, like I said, we got a lot of moments where people were talking and resolving, meeting back up. We got a cool moment where both Arya and Mr. Robert Baratheon's bastard himself, Gendry, find out the reality of the other person. Since they've met each other, there's a big truth that each one was hiding. It comes out in the same conversation with Gendry, confiding her that he is Robert Baratheon's bastard, making him a very marked man, by the way. So that's a big secret to be telling anybody, even Arya fucking Stark. And Arya not telling him anything, but showing him exactly what she is and how she's not afraid of death. Talking about his description of the White Walkers were death. They move like death. And she wasn't fazed by that. And it rattled him, you could tell. Because she's not the girl that she was, and he knows that now. It was a cool moment, and it was a good realization. And I think it's what really ultimately allows the fornication to happen later on in the show. So very cool moments on top of the wall. It gets even more crazy down underneath, where everybody starts to congregate by the fire. Tormund, Jaime, Tyrion, Podrick, Brienne, Davos. I mean, everybody sharing stories, singing songs. And we got a lot of touching moments, man. We're not going to get a lot of goodbyes from this point on, guys. That's what these first two episodes have told me. That's what I think they're telling us. Everything in the next 4 episodes is going to be fast, harsh, brutal. That's what I feel. That's what I think. There's not going to be a lot of time for these type of resolutions. And I think that a lot of these moments that we've seen, including the conversations with these people commiserating before what they think is going to be their death is one of the most important ones to this moment. Brienne getting her just desserts. Brienne is an unsung hero. You want to talk about somebody who has not changed a lot in her own right, always being that oath keeper, that person who's honorable, who has she's the 100% honorable person 100% of the time, even to a fault. That's who she is. And she's never really gotten any appreciation for it. Everyone that she's worked for is kind of taking her for granted. Even the Starks to a degree. You know, she always had some sort of insight that always seems to get ignored. Her place always seems to be diminished. Whatever the case may be, it always feels like she doesn't get those just desserts until Jaime, in a really cool gesture, knights her. Knights her in front of a very creepy fucking Tormund, who, by the way, I can't believe that this is the first that we've gotten the Giant's Bane story. I'm glad they saved it. Holy fuck. The Giant's Bane story by Tormund is one of my favorite stories that anybody has told in Game of Thrones up to this point. If you don't know the story, it goes a little bit something like this. You can see that Tormund was obviously threatened by Jaime just by being in his presence. He could see that Brienne has something in her pants for that man, and you could tell that he was extremely jealous and was willing to compete. So he brings up Jaime's nickname of King Killer, you know, King Slayer and all that. And without anybody asking what his nickname is, Tormund goes on to tell everybody that his nickname is Giant's Bane. Would you like to know why? I killed a giant at 10 years old. You know what I did then? I crept into the bed with his wife. When she woke up, do you know what she did? She breastfed me for 3 months. That's why I'm so big. Giant's milk. What a creepy, weird, fucking insane scene, but I'm glad that it was there. I'm glad that we had it. I'm okay with the comedic moments because I don't think we're going to have a lot of them left. I don't think we're going to get a lot of feel-good, aw shucks moments. We got them out of the way real fucking quick because there ain't many left of the big ones of people getting to be reacquainted with each other once again. So I don't know, man. Shit is definitely getting hot and fucking crazy. So it's only going to get better. But I love this moment with all of them. I thought that was very cool. And then, of course, we did get the moment that everybody's talking about the most. You know, personally, we all knew. You know, personally, one of my favorite things to see this episode was going to be the encounter between Dany and Jon. But come on, Arya getting dicked down by old Gendry. Holy shit. After she grilled him about his dickin' ability. It was a pretty damn cool moment. She's a stark comparison to his previous women, which she tells him, I'm not the Red Priestess, take off your own bloody pants. A lot of cool little moments there. We got some levity. We got some very, very, very cool moments with those two just going at it. And I love the internet being as disgusting as humanly possible. How many fucking tweets did we see? I had to check how fucking old Nancy Williams is. Because we're obsessed with pedophiles. Because we're obsessed. And we got to make sure. We got to fucking make fun of her. I feel like I started it. I feel like because it was a few years ago when I started the whole thing making fun of people about the Mila Kunis on That 70s Show. I feel like this is all my fault. I feel like that I am basically patient zero. I started all of it. Tobes Podrick got me wet. Yeah, you got my butthole a little moist as well, man. Homeboy can sing. Homeboy can sing. Game over. I really hope the fans are enjoying these cute moments to start the season because their joys are about to turn to ashes in their mouths. I agree. It's about to get fucking really, really nasty really, really fast. So the moment between Arya and Gendry was great. Thought it was really cool. But we did really want to see how Dany and Jon interacted. I don't think anybody was expecting Jon just to be like, all right, Dany, check it out. Let me tell you what happened. Let me give you the lowdown. Let me break this down for you real quick. Yeah, so you're my aunt. Deal with it. It was not what I was expecting Jon to do in his blunt, but I guess it makes sense. These two get along. These two like each other. And she was just as blunt with Sam last week. It was what happened after, right before, of course, we did get the moment with the White Walkers outside the gates. But the first thing that Dany made anything about was, once again, her throne. Once again, her fucking throne. She didn't think about anything else, just she immediately saw Jon as nothing more than a threat to her throne. And I think that's going to be the moment that is going to hopefully get her to wake the fuck up, because I think things are going to move very fast next week. It's a whole episode, an hour and 22 minutes of the Battle of Winterfell, which they're calling their Helm's Deep episode. Now, if you know any good fantasy lore, you know exactly what that's a reference to and exactly what that means as far as the battle scene goes. It's going to be an hour and 22 minutes of sheer battle awesomeness. But what are we going to see? And based off the ending of this episode, more importantly, it's what we're not going to see. And this is where I'm going to go to a little bit of speculation and a little bit of theory here. And if you don't want to hear what I think about it, it's completely fine. So you can go away. I don't give a shit. But this is what I think is about to happen here. We didn't hear no dragon. We didn't see no dragon. Every time that a dragon is anywhere in any vicinity, we know it. They're loud. They make their presence very well known. And this one is louder and more fucking... There's like a glow around it at all times. We didn't see it. Why? Why? Because he ain't there. And he ain't going to be there. There is only one thing that makes sense in my mind. We now know that army has crossed the entire wildlands of the north and have taken places within Westeros already. It's already taken down poor Umbers, man. The poor Umbers. Little tiny Lord Umber, man. That was fucking sad. It fucking sucks, man. Just sad, sad, sad. But they have this entire army. How can they make sure that they can make this whole thing happen as easily as humanly possible? For the Night King to go to the other end of the flank and create another army. And the other end of the flank is essentially King's Landing. King's Landing got no love this week, essentially. Nothing really happened. We got no updates, no real preparation, no news. So I'm thinking next week I know we're going to get the Helm's Deep thing, but it's going to be the end of the episode where I think the big okie doke's going to come in, and either the Night King is just going to fly straight over King's Landing, fly straight over Winterfell, or it's going to be early on in the episode where he's going to fly over it. It might be the last thing that happens, but it's going to happen quickly, where we're going to see the approach of the Night King to King's Landing. It's the only thing that makes sense to me. Because if he can do something in King's Landing and create an army there, it takes care of a lot of the bullshit that the writing has kind of done to this point. Like, do we even fucking care about Cersei and the crown and all this stuff? I don't think we need that constant storyline. This whole thing is about, and always has been about, the White Walkers. The first scene of Game of Thrones is involving a fucking White Walker. It is the most important thing in the entire world, and I think that needs to be stated. Cersei just seeing one of these things was not enough. How is she going to react when she sees a fucking zombified ice dragon flying over King's Landing, hopefully burning up the entire armada? Because I don't think we're even going to see the Gold Company even get to shore. I think that whole fucking thing's going to burn the fuck up is what I think. It's just craziness. It's crazy. The things that are going to happen next week, it's going to go fast. It's going to be insane. And we're going to have to get some more resolution between Dany and Jon. It looked like Dany and Jon were both going to their dragons. That's what it looked like. I don't know if after the fight or at parts during the fight, they see the Night King fly over and they decide to follow. Maybe Jon decides to go after the Night King. Who the fuck knows? But there's also the possibility that they're going to be able to take a big chunk of the Night King's army out on the north, because they know how to get... There was a lot of White Walker generals. And that means a lot of those White Walker generals control a lot of those fucking rights of those whites on the ground. So if they can get those generals, I think it's going to be just about okay. I think they're going to be able to have an easier battle than we think. It's still going to be insane and intense and nuts and fucking... We're going to get heroic moments. We're going to get saves. We're going to get people turning into White Walkers potentially, or excuse me, Whites potentially. It's going to be crazy. Keep your eyes on your sheets next week, kids. If you play the Game of Thrones game with us, if you're in there, if you have your sheet available, make sure you have it next week because shit's going to be going down. Shit's going to be going down. The game overture, my prediction is that the final act is the remaining survivors versus Cersei's final betrayal. I don't think that it's going to be that way. I think what we're going to do is they're going to lose King's Landing, or they're going to be moved out in some way, and the final battle with the Night King's gigantic forces all in one area is going to be the same place where Robert Baratheon's Great War ended. I think it'll be the Two Rivers, the Three Rivers, whatever. I think it's going to be somewhere over in that area. Everyone's going to congregate, and we're going to have the big fucking Great War right there. And that's where it's really going to happen. That's what I think. Will Heron, floppy wiener, 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 floppy wiener, wiener, wiener. That's right. So let me ask you, what have been your favorite moments from Game of Thrones so far? I'm going to turn the show over to you guys. I've blathered on, giving you my review, what I thought about it. Basically all the things that I thought about, at least this episode. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, quips, quotes, likes, loves about either one of the first 2 episodes of Game of Thrones, now it is completely on you, my babies. Go ahead and call in on Discord. Lines are open. Get in there. Mods, go ahead and throw the link in the chat in case they're lazy and don't want to go into the description box. But if you do go in that description box, one of the first things you're going to see, and I'm going to go ahead and post this link, is a wonderful new music video by my man, your man, our man, RealTalk the Metaphor Messiah. Make sure you guys are checking out his brand new album. Holy shit. Not his new album, his new music video for Around the World. Holy shit. Check out his new album too, MOIRAI, because it's fucking fire. But you got to check out this brand new motherfucking video. Absolutely incredible. I got more coming for you on that. A little bit extra promotion coming for that very, very soon. Let's see. Internet Unwind, I think the Night King wins. I think that's very possible. Just as likely as anything else. This is George R.R. Martin's very dark novel. You never know what he's going to do. Everybody dies. The game overture, well, regardless, hot pie equals end game. There you are. High as a kite. Ghost is... Yes, we did. We got to see Ghost this week, which was very cool. That was very cool to see Ghost. We didn't get to see him long, but we did get a Ghost sighting. So he's still around. Unknown Reaper, I think Cersei and her army shows up to try and clean up and prey on the weak, and she gets destroyed. I don't think there's anything that she's going to show up to. It makes no sense for her to show up. It doesn't make sense for her to try and betray the human army. She knows what these are. She's already stated very clearly she's going to wait to see who wins and then try to pick off the survivors that way. She's already stated that. I don't see her showing up in some weird fucking act of heroism or trying to capitalize. She doesn't want the North. Who cares about the North? I don't see she caring about that, but who knows? All right, let's bring in Tobes. Tobes is here. I don't know. Maybe he is if he can unmute his microphone and get his shit together.
I'm here.
There he is. What's going on there, you fucking gorgeous mush puff?
Hey, Dave. How are you doing?
What's up, man?
The fucking the Reigns of Castamere has been stuck in my head for like an hour. Right?
You're right.
Yeah, not even Jenny's song, which is brilliant.
It is really good. It was well done.
Yeah.
There's some foreshadowing there too, potentially. There's a lot of fucking lot of theories about who's gonna eat it next week. A lot of theories about what is actually going on. So let's just start here. What did you think about the episodes, both of them so far? How you liking season 8 as a whole?
Let me start very pretentious. From a filmmaking perspective, it's incredible.
Agreed.
I think the budget of this season has increased, if I'm not mistaken.
They're clearly filming this as a movie. There's no question in my mind. They filmed this as one continuous movie. It's not filmed like a television show this season. That's clear to me.
And having it 6 episodes, it seems like they're going the 3-act structure.
Yeah.
Sort of route. And this was Act 1. This was the calm before the storm.
Right.
And the next 2 episodes we're going to see are like the fallout. And then the last 2 episodes are going to be Act 3. And hopefully, I know a lot of people aren't with me on this one, but I want to see a fucking happy ending in Westeros.
Yeah, it's going to be weird because it's like George R. R. Martin has stated many times there will be no happy ending, but that might just be for his books. Maybe Game of Thrones. Look, I personally think the books are written. I think they're all done. I think they've been done for a while. He hasn't fucking released a book since 2011 or 2012.
Well, no, he did. No. He released one recently.
What book?
About the Targaryen.
No, I'm talking in,
what was it?
in
Fire
the
and-
actual the Song
Oh,
of
yeah,
Ice and
yeah,
Fire.
yeah.
The actual Game of Thrones series I'm talking about. What people care
the main
about.
series.
Yeah, there hasn't been one in fucking forever. I think they're already done,
Mhm.
and I think it's because they're going to be completely different from the series. I think that the books from this point on are going to be just, if he can go left every time the Game of Thrones the show goes right, that's what he's going to do. That's what I think.
Yeah. There's only a certain way you can curb fantasy,
True.
right? And I think that it has reached its logical conclusion on that end, like the curbing. This is you can't really twist fantasy that much to make it so different when it comes to the climax of it.
Well,
And you can see that.
well, if you're talking difference between literary and series, I disagree. I think there's so many more things you can do in a literary sense than you could possibly do on television.
In a more visual medium,
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
film and television.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
And literary. I mean, George R. R. Martin can do whatever.
Yeah.
And I think some key players in the book that are not in the show
Yes.
are going to play a huge role in the book's ending.
At least three. At least three.
Yeah, at least three. And yeah, this episode was great. The tasteful Arya side boob.
Right.
Was
We got a little
weird.
nipplage. We got a little nip. That whole scene was weird. It was so fucking awkward. It was so awkward, but it was good. It was a good scene.
It's like walking in on your sister half naked after the shower and only seeing side boob, because that's what it is. We saw her grow,
Right.
and we saw her go through all this shit. I think she was how old was she? 12
Right.
when the series started, and she was 8 on the in the show. And we saw her grow up, and we didn't even know she was 18
Right.
in Westeros. So it's weird. Right?
It is.
They had to even clarify that on the Game of Thrones Twitter by tweeting something on your 18th name day. You have to just to clarify everything.
It's funny. I thought it was, for what it was, I thought it was pretty well done. You know, I thought it was a good moment. That's what I liked about the first 2 episodes. Everybody was talking about how, nothing's happened. I disagree. So much shit has happened. It might have been small things, resolutions, meetings, reconciliations, conversations, but I think they've been really, really fun and just a really good beginning to what I agree with you 100%. And what I've been saying, this is a movie, and this next episode is gonna fucking be insane. It's gonna be crazy.
It would. A lot of death. A lot of fucking death.
Yeah.
So prepare your fucking Kleenexes, and your fucking sheets of pulls, and just sit there and try not to have a mental breakdown when someone you like dies. I hope Sansa dies, because fuck Sansa.
You gotta admit though, man, her outfit, that black leather thing. Oh
hell yeah.
Oh my fucking
God. I just commissioned Days to do me something for like Game of Thrones coverage for the next few weeks.
Oh, perfect.
Because I want to do something on my channel as well.
Yeah.
It's basically my OC as a Targaryen, and instead of the David Bowie lightning bolt, it's 3 dragons at the same and the shoulder pads.
Oh, you gotta have the shoulder pads.
Of course. Hey.
No, Sansa. I thought Sansa had a good episode this week. She got proven right. She gave Tyrion shit last week and got proven right. That Cersei was gonna fuck everybody. So she got that moment, and then that whole moment with her and Daenerys, I loved. I love that whole interaction.
Be nice to Daenerys. Look. I think the writers are doing. This is my biggest complaint this season. They're trying to make Daenerys a bit unlikable.
Yeah.
so they can so they can do something to her. Now, I don't know if she's gonna have a bit of a redemption, like she's gonna fucking wake up, like the Iron Throne isn't everything.
Yeah.
But it's just like the decisions and the way she's treating the characters around her, like Tyrion.
Yep.
It's just like it's so uncharacteristic of her.
Is it though?
If
I don't think it is. I don't think it's uncharacteristic at all. She has done this. She has done this. In fact, she's done it to Tyrion before. She did it last season to Tyrion.
That is true. Yeah. She did it to Jorah as well.
Yeah, she checks people. It's what she does. She's a checker. And she's never been able to. But the only thing she doesn't check is her own ambition. And I think that's what's going to change. That's going to be your saving grace. And I'll tell you why in a minute. Continue what you were saying.
Yeah. But again, with Daenerys, I think like she's gonna have that wake up moment, and it's largely gonna have to do with Jon Snow and finding out he's actually Aegon Targaryen.
Well, she found that out last night.
yeah. Well, yeah, but she didn't really have time to reminisce.
No, she did not.
No. And I expected her to take it that way. Yeah. But the lead up to it and her conversation with Sansa, I did not like. Like Daenerys is not manipulative in that sense. Like she doesn't tell you what you want to hear. You know,
I don't think
that's not her style.
I don't see her being manipulative.
No. But if her core ambition is the Iron Throne, and knowing that the army of the dead is the biggest threat, and that's why she came to the North.
Yeah.
Why would she say that it's her love of Jon Snow? I don't think it's her love of Jon Snow.
Well, it's
because
not,
of
well, it's
how
not,
she's
it's
acting
not only.
towards it.
It's not. No. I think that's where I think it makes sense to me, because she's still conflicted. Remember, she didn't bow to anyone. Jon, a king anointed by an entire fucking northern populace, bent the knee to her. She's got no reason to not want to protect her power, even in the midst of all of this. She knows more work has to be done, and this has been her life's ambition. So from a standpoint, I think it makes sense. I think even her being distrusting of Jon, because it really was poof, you're in love. We didn't get a lot of build-up. We didn't get Jaime and Brienne, their fucking unbelievable story that we've gotten to see over the seasons. This was poof, you're in love. So it's a little bit harder. And because it's not just like that on screen, it was really like that. I'm not done yet. So I'm thinking what they're doing, they're building to something to where she's going to have a realization moment, an obvious moment of choice. And that's why I think next week's episode is so important. Not because of the battle, but because of who's not going to be there. They're going to have to go to King's Landing because that's where the motherfucking Night King's going. I'm telling you that right now. Night King's going to motherfucking King Landing next week. We will not see him at fucking at Winterfell. He's going to motherfucking King's Landing, and they're gonna have to make a choice. And I think somehow through a way of different of manipulating, something's gonna happen where Jon Snow is going to become Cersei's prisoner, and all this is gonna lead to Dany rescuing Jon, burning the motherfucking Iron Throne to the goddamn ground, and then realizing exactly what needs to be done. That's what's happening. So saith Dave. What's going on, Real Talk, the Metaphor Messiah? What's going on, baby boy? Everybody go check out right down in the description box. Brand new video by my man, Real Talk, the Metaphor Messiah, around the world. Go check it out, man. Absolutely amazing. Another great video by my dude, my man, my brother from another mother, Real Talk, the Metaphor Messiah. The fucking links in the description box. Tobes, what do you think? Am I crazy?
No, you're not crazy, and I think it would be poetic, and I think it's very Game of Thronesy that a dragon destroys what a dragon creates.
Right.
A dragon destroys what a dragon creates.
So what are you expecting as far as deaths next week? Because I think there will be some big deaths, but not major. You know what I mean? I don't think we're going to lose a Stark. I don't think we're losing a Stark next week. I don't think any of that. But I think we possibly bring in
Maybe that's why, like, the episode is the Night of the Seven Kingdoms, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so probably Brienne. I would hate to see her go. I would hate to see her phasmid, as I like to call it.
Phasmid. Well done.
Yeah. Grey Worm and his ambitions, gonzo.
Man, how about the racism, man? Holy shit. It's amazing. It's not even subtle, man. It's like really, and it's just so random. It's the one thing I'm like, I don't understand either of the scenes that we've seen those two in, even the first scene when they're coming into Winterfell, like, what's the point? Like, we know, we get it. The Northerners are dickheads. We hear about it all the time. We get it. Do you really want to stay here after all this? Fuck no. Why would you even ask that stupid question? It's cold. We're black. No.
I love that he thinks that Daenerys is just gonna let him go to the Island North with her army. Like, get the fuck out of here with that shit.
Yeah, she'll be like, yeah, go ahead. Go. I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Maybe as her like character is right now, she wouldn't. But maybe after the realization that she might have in the next few episodes, I think that might be a possibility. You know?
Yeah, I think
but
you're
I
right
think
there
he's
too.
dead.
Grey Worm? Oh yeah, I think so too. He's an easy one to kill. I don't think people are going to be too freaked out about that. It's an easy one. It's enough to get people talking. He's got to go, but not her. Not yet. Like, kill him, but not her. You got to separate. Really fuck with people. Get the emotions going. I didn't even realize they burned that fucking. They killed Lord Umber last week. That kid on the wall. I didn't realize until I rewatched it for the 4th time today, the first episode, that was fucking little Lord Umber. I was like, oh my god, little Lord Umber.
Oh, how can you not catch that?
Because I'm really high all the time. What can I fucking say, Tom? I'm in nonstop pain, dude. I'm just fucking trying to hang on at this point.
Yeah.
Fucking sucks.
I love you, Dave.
Speaking of which.
What?
Wait, hold on. There we go. That's better. Will Heron. Yeah, they can't prove what's in it. Fuck them. Like I make money off fucking any of this shit anymore anyway. Will Heron, Arya's a goner. Yep. No, not yet. Not yet. The game overture. Guess that one flew under the radar. Umber the radar. Well done. Flew Umber the radar. I like that. Go ahead, Tobe. Sorry.
All right. Can Sansa die?
No.
Can Sansa? Please.
Why do you want Sansa to die? I'm bringing in Danny Girl too. Danny Girl's joined the conversation as well. No.
All right.
Sansa's not dying. Leave Sansa alone.
I'm done with Sansa.
Oh boy, Danny, get your shit together.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, unfortunately, I can hear me too.
Oh fuck. Hold on. Is that better?
I don't know. Let's see. Can Tobes talk?
Hello?
All right, we're good. Danny, what's going on?
It's in order.
Nothing. I don't think Sansa's gonna die next episode.
No, definitely not.
I don't
next
think
episode.
so, but I don't think so. But like, I'm tired. Like she's too much like Cersei. I know she's doing it for the North, but no, I'm good. She annoys the fuck out of me.
What evil has she done? Wait, what do you mean she's like Cersei?
What
has she done?
No.
She's done nothing.
She was taught by Cersei. All of this was like Cersei.
Yeah, but she's done nothing bad. What has she done?
No. She's not done anything bad. It's just like the way she carries herself is
like a queen.
Cersei, and I hate it.
No, she's got to treat herself like a queen. That's good. It works.
No. But I see so much of Cersei in her, and I don't like it. And I hate Cersei, and I hate Sansa. Okay, wow. And be nice to Danny for fuck's sake.
Which Danny?
That's like my queen bit there.
My Danny in the chat here. I'm always nice to that. No, I try to be nice to this Danny. She's always a dickhead to me. She makes it really difficult. But Daenerys, I'm nice to Daenerys. You're the one who was just calling her a cunt.
No. Sansa should be nicer to Daenerys.
Oh, shut up, Danny. Talk so Tobes doesn't have to.
Yo, fuck Sansa. Period.
Freaking doped up. Hold on.
What do you guys got? I'm not gonna keep this ramble fest going. You guys got anything else on the show so I can get out of here? Go to Twitch where I want to be. I hate YouTube.
Have a thought.
Give me your thought.
So I think that they are going to take down the Night King, but it's going to offset the balance of things. And there's going to be a long summer that's going to end up being just as bad because that's what the Lords of Light want. And the Lady of Light, or whatever, the Red Woman.
When do you think that's going to happen?
I think that's going to be like in the final bit, like after they get rid of the Night King, they're going to notice that the balance is off, and that's going to be the bittersweet ending.
It feels like more of a
that's what it
book
seems
ending,
like.
doesn't it? It feels like a book ending. If that really does, like, and then as everyone in Westeros celebrated their victory over the endless winter, soon they realized not all was as pleasant as they seemed. And then like, I see Martin just being like, and then everybody, your mother died.
It's a good thing you don't.
Maybe. I don't know. It's just something that I thought about, like going back and rewatching the whole series and watching like the crazy priests and priestess of the light and the things that they were talking about in Endless Summer. It just, I don't know. It just seems wrong.
Well, I mean, you gotta look at it too. That there's about 4 or 5 different religious ideologies going on at the moment. So it's like one of them's got to be right. So maybe, possibly, who knows? Something's got to be right. Something's got to be wrong. It's gonna be funny to find out who.
Yeah. Well, at the moment, like there are offshoots of the Seven.
Yeah.
Like the faceless men worship the stranger, right?
We got the old gods and the new gods, essentially.
Yeah, basically. But the Lord of Light is outside all of that. So
Outside of that completely, yeah.
Yeah. So we kind of have like 2 religions, predominant religions on the show.
Well, the
unlike
old
in
and
the
new
books.
are at conflict with each other. So I mean, I would technically, they wouldn't appreciate. That's like calling a Sicilian an Italian. You're gonna get stabbed in the fucking throat more than likely. Don't do that shit. I'm trying to help you.
Yeah, like the Protestants and Catholics in Ireland.
Yeah, you're gonna get fucked up and probably a snake thrown through your window. Absolutely. But yeah, but there's a lot of other things in other places which we haven't even explored yet. Like there is so much stuff going on in other realms that we've only even we've seen Dany go all over the place. We've seen the shit going on in Bravos. We've seen all this crazy shit that goes even farther beyond just the petty shit that happens in Westeros. It kind of seems like Westeros might be the lamest of all of it. You know, like we've seen some really cool shit across the ocean. Well, what's Westeros got? Winter.
I want to see a spinoff where they kind of like handle Valyria.
I want to see
more
Valyria.
than anything.
Yeah, I do too. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Danny, you got Tobes? You got anything else? Let me get you out of here first. Then I'll get Danny, and then I'm gonna go. Man, I've been live an hour now.
I don't really have anything else to say besides y'all are both wrong and Cersei's amazing.
That's for you, Danny. I'm glad Littlefinger's dead. Love you. Yeah.
Is he dead though?
Oh, yes, he's dead.
Okay.
The first 2 episodes are done. If they just go like, surprise, Littlefinger's back. Like, let's say everybody leaves the castle, and then when they come back, Littlefinger and Bronn are like, hey, what's going on? This is ours.
Imagine if the castle is like overwhelmed by the army of the dead, and then he comes in there with Knights of the Vale again.
Oh yeah, somehow he's able to get the Knights of the Vale. I doubt they're following him again. I doubt it. Never know. All right, Toesies. Tell all the kids where they can find you and all that. I want to get out of here. I'm tired.
You can find me on Twitter at Filmoddities. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel at Filmoddities. I've got the Avengers review coming out on Thursday morning, my time. The spoiler-free version, and
I don't know when I'm going to get to it. I don't know when I'm going to get to see it.
Fucking shadow humor. That motherfucker spoiled it.
I heard. No, I still haven't gotten spoiled yet, but I don't know when I'm going to get to see it. It might be a little while. I got to go traveling here soon.
Did you check if there's a theater near you with like that luxury cinema?
Not that luxurious, but we do got the nice theaters that I went to for the last one, which is more than fucking fine. That's more than fine. But the problem is getting
wherever you choose, whenever you go, it's on me.
Oh,
snacks
motherfucker!
And snacks and theater.
All right, well, send that shit. I don't ever say shit like that, but for this, send that shit, baby. I wants to go. I love you, Tomesies. Thank you, buddy.
Love you more, Dave.
I'll talk to you soon. We're doing a show this week, right?
See ya. Yeah. When can we?
I'm doing shows the thing that I was doing on Twitch, I'm gonna just do it here. Every day I'm going to go live with something. I'm going to open up the fucking phone lines. I'm just going to blather on about something, whether it be Game of Thrones, wrestling, other stupid shit, whatever. Every co-host has open reign to call in every single day, talk about whatever they want. It's the best way to go.
I want to talk about Wendy Williams, honestly, because it is juicy.
Save it later in the week. All right, buddy.
All right, see you, man.
Later. Good stuff. Tubsies, everyone. Tubsies. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Sorry it was kind of lame with people. See, I'm trying to think, where should I go, YouTube or Twitch? Well, I'm getting more people over on Twitch, so I'm kind of trying to thinking about moving all the talk show stuff over there, and I really like the way it's going. But, I mean, there's still, like, this pull to continue to come here and do stuff on YouTube. There's people who are only going to watch me on YouTube, so it's difficult. It's hard to figure out exactly where I should go and what I want to do. So I'm kind of playing with a few things right now. I'm seeing what times is going to work better. If people are going to call in on the talk show, I got a really cool new frame over there for the talk show variation on Twitch. So a lot of cool stuff is happening, but I need you guys to let me know what you're liking and tell me if you're showing up. Show me that you're showing up. Tweet out these streams. Let me know what you're enjoying about the stuff that we're covering. All right. Really appreciate you guys. Keep it copious, folks. And remember, as always, if you don't have talent, have talented friends like me. I'm your talented friend, and I should be live on Twitch in just a little bit because I am dying, but I want to keep streaming, so I'm going to go live over there. We'll see you in just a few minutes. Thank you. Peace out. Good night.